What's up, everybody? This is your boy Tech G back with another video to help you successfully pass the CompTIA A+ 220-1001 exam. In this video, you will learn about the basic mobile device network connectivity and application support, such as wireless cellular data networking for mobile devices, Bluetooth, corporate and ISP email configuration, integrated commercial provider email configuration, PRI updates, PRL updates, baseband updates, radio firmware, IMEI versus IMSI, and VPN. Know it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. So let's just get straight into it. Hotspots. So Wi-Fi hotspots are internet access points that allow you to connect to a Wi-Fi network using your computer, smartphone, or another device while away from your home or office network. A hotspot is a blend of software, hardware, and network data services that combine to transform a phone into the equivalent of a broadband modem or router. To rephrase, a mobile hotspot can distribute internet connectivity to nearby systems via a Wi-Fi signal. The mobile device can generate a default password, which can be changed so that other devices looking to connect can get access to the network to access the internet. Now, here's a word of caution. If you turn your mobile device into a hotspot or use the device for tethering, be mindful that some cellular providers may charge additional fees. Also understand that the data usage of every device connected can be counted towards your total data allocation, which could result in paying extra fees for overage use. So be sure to check with your provider for details. And here is a screenshot of how you would activate a personal hotspot on an iPhone. Real simple. Just look for the button that says hotspot, go to it, turn it on. Boom, you're good money. Tethering. So as mentioned in my previous video, tethering or phone as a modem, also known as PAM, is the sharing of a mobile device's internet connection with other connected computers. Connection of a mobile device with other devices can be done over wireless LAN, also known as Wi-Fi, over Bluetooth, or by physical connection using a cable. Most smartphones on the market are capable of sharing cellular data connections by way of tethering. Wired tethering requires connecting the phone to a laptop via a connection cable. When tethering is done wirelessly, the phone becomes what is known as a hotspot. Now, just another word of caution, just like a hotspot, tethering could possibly add some additional charges to your mobile device bill. Airplane mode. So airplane mode is a setting available on a smartphone and other portable devices. When activated, this mode suspends the device's radio frequency signal transmission technologies such as Bluetooth, telephony, and Wi-Fi, effectively disabling all voice, text, and phone services. The GPS may or may not be disabled because it does not involve transmitting radio waves. Some airlines offer in-flight internet access. To enable that access while in flight, you may need to turn your mobile device's airplane mode on and then go back in and activate its Wi-Fi. In addition, you may need to also activate the Bluetooth for your headsets. Bluetooth. Also mentioned in my previous video, Bluetooth is a wireless technology standard used for exchanging data between fixed and mobile devices over short distances using short wavelength, ultra high frequency radio waves from 2.402 gigahertz to 2.480 gigahertz. Bluetooth began as a technology mainly designed to operate in peer-to-peer or ad hoc mode between PCs and other devices. When Bluetooth devices are connected to each other, they form what is known as a PAN or a personal area network. Some systems and devices have Bluetooth adapters already integrated, while others need a Bluetooth module connected via a USB port to enable Bluetooth networking. Most Bluetooth devices have a range of 10 meters. Bluetooth runs within the same 2.4 gigahertz frequency used by the IEEE 802.11 BGN wireless networks, but uses a spread spectrum some frequency hopping signaling method to help minimize interference. Before a Bluetooth device can work with your computer or mobile device, it must be paired with the device. To connect the Bluetooth device to a mobile device, Bluetooth needs to be enabled. Then the Bluetooth device needs to be synchronized, paired, or linked to the mobile device. Sometimes the synchronization process requires a PIN code. Once it is synchronized, the device can be connected. Bluetooth 4.0, which is also known as Bluetooth Smart, is used with very low power applications such as sensors. Bluetooth 4.1 can perform multiple roles at the same time, and they work better with LTE cellular devices. And Bluetooth 4.2 adds features to support IoT or the Internet of Things. And here is a screenshot of how to turn on Bluetooth in a smartphone. I think this is an Android that we're looking at right here. You just look for the Bluetooth button, turn it on, look for the device that you want to connect, hit the device name, start connecting. You may or may not have to enter a passcode or a PIN. Once this thing syncs up, boom, you are good to go. Let's talk about corporate and ISP email. ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. Smartphones and tablets have the ability to send and receive email. This section, we're going to discuss how to configure email on both Android and iOS devices. There are two different types of email services that corporations and ISP utilize. They utilize what is called POP3 or Post Office Protocol 3 and IMAP 4, which stands for Internet Message Access Protocol version 4. You may need to configure your device to receive either or both types of email services. Configuring Android for POP3 email. So to configure a POP3 email account, you need to know the connecting server, the port you need to use, and whether security is being employed. So the following steps will help connect a typical Android smartphone to a POP3 email account. First thing you're going to do, you're going to go to the home screen, and you're going to tap the menu button and select all apps. You're going to scroll until you see the email app. Next, you're going to select POP3. If the device already has email account set up on it, you might need to open settings and then tap the add account button. Then you're going to type the email address and the password of the account and then tap next. If prompted, you're going to configure the incoming settings. You're going to change the username, which is optional, to something different from the email address, and then type the POP3 server name. This is usually the domain name portion of the email address. Then you're going to select SSL or TLS if security is being used. You're going to type the port number 110, which is the default for POP3. You'll type next. And if you have any issues beyond that, you need to contact your network administrator so that they can give you relevant help. After you do that, you're going to configure the outgoing settings. You're going to type the SMTP server. Organizations tend to use the same server name as the POP3 server. Small office, home office users might have to use their ISP's SMTP server. You're going to select SSL or TLS. If security is being used, you're going to type the port number 25, which is the default port for SMTP. Then you're going to tap next. Then you're going to configure the account options such as how often to check for mail and whether to notify you when it arrives. You'll type next or tap next. And at this point, new email should start downloading. And finally, you're going to rename your account if you want and then tap done. Now, I know I threw a lot of acronyms out there, ladies and gentlemen. What I advise you all to do is go check out my IT Fundamentals course, which I have uploaded. You can go to the playlist and start watching that. It explains a lot of stuff in reference to these acronyms that will help you pass this exam. Moving on, so let's talk about configuring an iOS device for a POP3 account. So it's real simple. Go to the home screen, tap settings, tap mail, contacts, calendars, tap add account, tap other at the bottom of the list, tap add mail account. You're going to type the name, email address, and password and an optional description. Then you're going to tap next. Then you're going to tap pop. Under incoming mail server, you're going to type the POP3 server name and the username. Under the outgoing mail server, you're going to type the SMTP server. You're going to tap save. The system will then verify the address and password. And if successful, the process is finished. If it's not successful, you need to check your settings and make sure you didn't type something wrong or misspell it, and then do the process again, and you should be good to go with email on your iOS device. All right, let's talk about connecting to IMAP or Exchange servers. So to connect to an IMAP account, you need to enter the IMAP server for receiving mail, which uses port 143 by default, and the outgoing SMTP server for sending mail. Connecting to a Microsoft Exchange mail server, the name server often takes care of both receiving and sending email, which may require you to know the domain the Exchange server is a member of. Secure email sessions require the use of SSL or TLS on port 443. You need to check with your network administrator for the appropriate protocol. APOP is a secure version of POP3. It uses a challenge response protocol in conjunction with a hashing function to prevent replay attacks during an email session. This protocol is available on the Android platform as well as the Mozilla Thunderbird and Apple Mail platform. Using secure multi-purpose internet mail extensions will encrypt your email for security and authentication. To enable encryption support, you need to turn on the sign all outgoing emails option and then create a public key encryption key for your email account. All right, let's talk about integrated commercial provider email configuration. So web-based services like Apple's iCloud, Gmail, Microsoft Outlook, or Exchange Online, Yahoo Mail can be easily set up by installing the appropriate app from your device's app store. Connecting to these services works similarly to using a desktop or a laptop computer. Simply choose your email provider, enter a username, which will be your email address, and a password, and the user will have access to web-based email. PRI updates, PRL updates, and baseband updates. Smartphones and cellular-equipped tablets update PRLs, which stands for Preferred Roaming Lists, and basebands every time a system update is made available. A PRL is a database residing in a wireless device that contains information used during the system selection and acquisition process. The PRL indicates which bands, subbands, and service provider identifiers will be scanned and in what order. Without a PRL, a mobile device may not be able to roam outside of its home service area, or a customer could experience not having any service at all. Primary rate interface or PRI updates are used to control the speed of data being sent from a mobile device to a cell tower. PRI updates are sent automatically to help ensure that the cell tower receives data at an acceptable rate. Resetting the PRL can help if you are experiencing issues connecting to cell towers. To reset the connection, you can go to the phone's dialer, enter the appropriate code. On an Android, you would type ## 72786 #. On an iOS device, you would type ## 873 283 #. Different carriers may have different requirements for their phone. Radio firmware. So firmware updates are sent whenever a manufacturer sends out an operating system update. Firmware updates update the radio modem that manages connections for cellular, Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth, and NFC. These updates help improve reliability. Firmware updates help keep the phone's operating system in sync with the cellular modem to prevent the device from becoming unreliable. IMEI versus IMSI. So two international standards are used to identify cell phones and other devices with cellular service. You have IMEI, that stands for International Mobile Equipment Identity. And this is a unique number given to each cell phone, and it is used to identify phones on the GSM, UMTS, LTE, and IDEN networks. The IMEI can be used to block access to a stolen phone. MEID numbers used by the CDMA network, such as Sprint, Verizon, and US Cellular, work in the same way as IMEI numbers. Some vendors refer to these numbers as IMEI, MEID numbers. And then you have the IMSI, that stands for International Mobile Subscriber Identity. And it is used to identify a subscriber using a cell network. It is usually stored in the phone or tablet's SIM card. The owner of a stolen cell phone can contact the cell phone provider and request that the phone's usage be blocked. Cell phone providers keep records of IMEI numbers and can block phones from being used even if their SIM card is changed. Support for cell phone blocking by IMEI number can vary from provider to provider and from country to country. If the owner of a stolen cell phone replaces the phone, the new SIM card can be provisioned with the same IMSI code because the code identifies the user of the phone rather than the phone itself. IMEI and MEID numbers for an Android can be displayed by typing #06# into the dialer. The code will be displayed immediately. On an iOS device, you would simply go to Settings and About and scroll to the number. Then you can copy it and display it if necessary. Here is a screenshot from an iOS device showing you how to locate the IMEI number. Go to General, About, then scroll down and look for your IMEI number. And finally, let's talk about VPN. So a virtual private network extends a private network across a public network and enables users to send and receive data across shared or public networks as if their computing devices were directly connected to the private network. A VPN connection requires a VPN server at the remote site and a VPN client at the client site. VPN traffic between clients and servers is encrypted and encapsulated into packets suitable for transmission over the network. VPN connections are often referred to as tunnels, and the process of setting up a VPN is known as tunneling. A VPN connection has several benefits compared with a standard connection. A VPN connection enables insecure public Wi-Fi to provide a secure private connection to a website that supports VPNs. A VPN connection enables the user to bypass blocks on websites in certain areas. By using a VPN, a user can access social networks or search tools in countries where access is restricted, or can use media subscription sites for areas other than where they live, such as a different country's Netflix or other streaming service. And a VPN connection hides activity from the user's normal ISP because their internet traffic, including peer-to-peer torrents, is tunneling through the ISP's connections and is therefore invisible. VPN connections are also supported by iOS, Android, and Windows 10 mobile devices. VPN settings vary by the VPN type, so be sure to know the VPN type and the settings needed to create a connection from a mobile device. So to create a connection to a VPN with an iOS device, you would open Settings, General, VPN, Add VPN Configuration. Set up a VPN on an Android device, open Settings, More Connection Settings, VPN, and then choose Basic VPN or Advanced IPsec VPN. And then to set up a VPN connection on a Windows 10 mobile device, open Settings, Network and Internet, VPN, and add a VPN connection. All right, let's get into some check on learning, shall we? So the first question is, your employer offers company-owned cell phones to some employees. A ticket has been created by an employee stating their cell phone is not connecting to the company Wi-Fi. What troubleshooting steps should be done first? Is it restart the device? Is it replace the PCIe Wi-Fi card? Is it verify that Wi-Fi is enabled? Or is it submit it to the OEM vendor for review? So the Wi-Fi is not working on your device. What is the first thing that you should do? First thing you should do is verify that the Wi-Fi is actually turned on. Some of these devices, Wi-Fi is turned off. So just go in there and make sure the Wi-Fi is turned on so that you can be out here surfing the internet, ladies and gentlemen. Next question. Your employer requires all mobile devices have a VPN client installed. The VPN client should be enabled whenever public or otherwise untrusted wireless networks are used. What is the benefit of using a VPN? Is it VPNs are a client-only application that scans network traffic for possible viruses and worms? Is it VPNs provide an encrypted tunnel that protects data transmitted from being read by malicious actors? Is it VPNs provide a packet scanning service that ensures the untrusted wireless network is safe to use? Or is it VPNs upgrade any HTTP traffic to HTTPS automatically? So what is the correct answer as to what is the benefit of a VPN? The correct answer is VPNs provide an encrypted tunnel that protects data transmitted from being read by malicious actors. That is one of the benefits of VPN. And the final question is, which of the following is a network protocol used to download emails onto a mobile phone? Is it IMEI? Is it Yahoo Mail? Is it POP3? Or is it SMTP? Which of the following is a network protocol used to download emails? The correct answer is POP3 or Post Office Protocol 3. All right. So, in summary, we have talked about basic mobile network connectivity and application support, where we discuss things such as wireless cellular data networking for mobile devices, Bluetooth, corporate and ISP email configuration, integrated commercial provider email configuration, PRI updates, PRL updates, baseband updates, radio firmware, IMEI versus IMSI, and VPNs. Now, if you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Also, drop a comment below. But most importantly, please visit my website, technologyg.com, so that you can get read up on the latest and greatest to help you successfully pass the CompTIA 220-1001 exam. And until next video, ladies and gentlemen, peace.